Have you ever had someone speak to you with such disrespect that it felt like a punch to the chest? A comment so sharp, so careless, so rude that it stayed in your mind long after the moment ended. Maybe it happened at work. Maybe a stranger said something online. Maybe someone you trusted spoke to you in a way that made you feel small. Your heart started beating faster, your mind filled with anger. And hours later, you were still replaying the moment, thinking, why did they say that? Why didn't I respond better? Let me ask you something important. What if the real test of your strength is not how you handle success, but how you handle rude people? Because success is easy to celebrate. When life goes your way, when people respect you, when everyone smiles and agrees with you, it's easy to stay confident. But when someone insults you, when someone challenges your dignity, when someone disrespects you in front of others, that's when your true character shows up. Rude people are everywhere, at work, in traffic, in stores, on social media, sometimes even in your own family circle. Research from workplace psychology shows that almost 98% of people experience rude behavior in professional environments, and nearly half of employees deal with it every single week. Think about that. Almost everyone faces disrespect at some point. So the question is not whether you will encounter rude people. The question is, who will you become when you do? Because the way you handle rude people. The question is, who will you become when you do? Because the way you handle rude people determines something powerful. It determines your emotional freedom. Most people believe rude people are their problem. They believe the insult, the criticism, the negativity is something they must fight against immediately. But here is a truth that will change your life if you truly understand it. Rude people are not your real problem. Your reaction to them is, the moment someone insults you, your brain goes into defense mode. Your emotions fire up instantly. Your ego says, fight back. Show them they're wrong. Put them in their place. It feels automatic. It feels natural. But automatic reactions rarely create powerful lives. The strongest people in the world are not those who react instantly. They are the ones who respond intentionally. Think about it for a moment. Why do people become rude? Why do people become rude? Why do some individuals insult, criticize, and belittle others? Psychologists have studied this behavior for years, and what they found is fascinating. In many cases, rude behavior is not about the target at all. It's about the person expressing it. Studies in emotional psychology show that people who feel insecure, stressed, powerless, or unhappy are far more likely to lash out at others. In other words, when someone is rude, they are often projecting their own inner frustration. Their behavior is a mirror of their internal struggles. But when someone insults you, your mind rarely sees it that way. Instead, it feels personal. It feels like an attack on your identity, and that's where emotional intelligence becomes your superpower. 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 They understand that just because someone throws negativity at you doesn't mean you have to catch it. Imagine someone walking up to you and offering you a bag filled with garbage. Would you accept it? Of course not. You would look at it and walk away. Yet when someone throws verbal garbage, insults, criticism, negativity, most people grab it instantly and carry it with them all day. They replay it in their mind. They carry the anger, they carry the stress, they carry the emotional weight, but powerful people do something different. They refuse to carry what doesn't belong to them. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you are standing in a storm. Someone throws mud in your direction. You have two choices. You can throw mud back and become just as dirty, or you can step aside and let the storm pass while you stay clean. Handling rude people works the same way. When you react with anger, the situation becomes a battle, two people shouting, two egos clashing, two energies colliding. But when you respond with calm strength, something unexpected happens. The conflict loses its fuel. There is a psychological concept called emotional contagion. It means emotions spread between people like a virus. If someone is angry and you respond with anger, the situation escalates. But if someone is angry and you remain calm, their emotional momentum begins to collapse. Your calmness becomes the pattern breaker. Your emotional control becomes your power. And let me ask you something. Who is truly stronger? The person who explodes with anger the moment they are challenged, or the person who stands calm, grounded, and completely in control of themselves? Real strength is self-mastery. Rude people often rely on reaction. Many of them provoke others because they crave attention or control. They expect emotional responses. They expect arguments. But when you refuse to react emotionally, you remove the reward they were looking for. Think about the calmest leaders you admire. The most respected individuals in history were rarely the loudest or the most reactive. They were the most centered. They understood that reacting emotionally to every insult is like fighting every barking dog you pass on the street. If you stop for every one of them, you will never reach your destination. Your time is valuable. Your focus is valuable. Your emotional energy is valuable, and you must decide where it goes. Do you want to invest it in arguments with rude people, or do you want to invest it in building your future? Because here is the truth. Every minute you spend arguing with negativity is a minute you could have spent improving your life. The next principle is powerful. Boundaries. Handling rude people does not mean accepting disrespect. It does not mean allowing others to treat you poorly. It means responding with strength instead of emotional chaos. There is a difference between reacting and asserting yourself. Reaction is emotional, ation is emotional, ation is intentional. Sometimes the most powerful response you can give is calm, direct, and confident. Looking someone in the eye and saying, I'm open to conversation, but I won't accept disrespect. No yelling, no insults, no emotional explosion, just certainty. Research in communication psychology shows that calm assertiveness often earns more respect than aggressive confrontation. Why? Because calmness signals confidence. Aggression often signals insincerity. When you stay calm, you send a message without shouting. You say, I know my worth. I don't need to prove it through anger. Now let's go deeper. The way you respond to rude people shapes your identity. Every moment someone challenges you with negativity is a moment where you choose who you will become. Are you someone controlled by emotion or someone guided by purpose? Think about the strongest version of yourself. The person you want to become 5 years from now, the person who is confident, respected, and emotionally powerful. Do you think that person wastes energy arguing with every rude individual they meet? Of course not. They're focused on growth. They're focused on building something meaningful. They are focused on their mission. Here is a powerful truth about successful people. They do not spend their time fighting negativity. They spend their time fighting negativity. They spend their time creating progress. But there is another level to this, sometimes rude. E people can become an order, and then you put the Y. E people can become unexpected teachers. Every rude interaction gives you the opportunity to practice patience, emotional control, and resilience. It's like training for your mind. Just like lifting weights builds muscles, handling difficult people builds emotional strength. The more you practice, the stronger you become. At first, rude comments may trigger anger instantly. But with practice, something incredible happens. You develop emotional distance. The things that once upset you no longer control you. You become unshakable. And then you put the why. And when you become unshakable, your confidence rises to a completely new level. Because true confidence is not about always being praised. True confidence is about staying grounded even when you are criticized. Now, here is another important insight. When someone is rude, most people focus on the insult itself. But emotionally intelligent people focus on the story behind the behavior. You see, hurt people often hurt people. Someone who feels fulfilled, respected, and confident rarely spends time tearing others down. But someone who feels ignored, insecure, or overwhelmed might lash out. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it gives you perspective. Perspective creates emotional freedom. Instead of reacting with anger, you can respond with calm strength. Sometimes even with empathy. And empathy is not weakness. Empathy is not weakness. And empathy is not weakness, 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 is in practice admit. Perspective creates emotional freedom. Instead of reacting with anger, you can respond with calm strength. Sometimes even with empathy is not weakness, 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 is ignored, and that the empathy is not that the... But remember this clearly. Compassion does not mean tolerating repeated disrespect. If someone consistently treats you poorly, you have every right to distance yourself. Your environment shapes your mindset. The people around you influence your beliefs, your energy, and your growth. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, it will drain you. It will slowly affect your confidence. It will slowly affect your confidence. It will slowly affect your motivation. So sometimes the most powerful decisive ion you can make is to protect your environment. Choose your circle wisely. Spend time with people who lift you up, challenge you to grow, and respect your boundaries, put your boundaries, because the quality of your relationships often determines the quality of your life. Now imagine something powerful. Imagine waking up each day with complete emotional ownership. Someone criticizes you and you remain calm. Someone insults you and you smile and move forward. Someone tries to provoke you and you refuse to play the game. That level of emotional freedom is real power. It means no one else controls your inner state. You control it, but achieving this level of emotional mastery requires a shift in mindset. You must stop seeking approval from everyone. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will respect you. Not everyone understands your vision, and that's okay. You are not here to please every person you meet. You are here to grow, to contribute, and to build a life that reflects your values. Some of the most successful people in the world faced intense criticism and rude behavior before achieving greatness. Entrepreneurs are mocked before they succeed. Leaders are criticized before they are respected. Innovators are doubted before they change the world. If they reacted emotionally to every negative voice, they would never move forward. Instead, they focused on their mission. They understood something powerful. Noise is everywhere, but focus creates success. So the next time someone is rude to you, pause for a moment, take a deep breath. Remind yourself who you are and where you are going. Remember that your future is too important to waste on unnecessary battles. Respond with calm strength. Respond with dignity, or sometimes respond with silence and continue moving forward. Because silence combined with progress is often the strongest answer you see. and give. And now I want to challenge you. From this moment forward, make a decision. Decide that rude people will no longer control your emotions. Decide that negativity will no longer control your emotions. Decide that you will become the kind of person who responds with calm power instead of emotional reaction. Practice it every day. When someone insults you, pause before responding. When someone provokes you, breathe before reacting. When someone provokes you, breathe before reacting. When someone spreads negativity, choose dignity over drama. Because when you master your reactions, you master your life. Your peace becomes stronger, your confidence becomes deeper, and the world begins to see something different in you. They see a person who cannot be shaken by small minds and negative voices. They see a person who leads with strength. They see a person who controls their destiny. So here's your call to action. The next time someone is rude, don't react the way you used to. Pause, stand tall, look them in the eye if necessary. Respond with calm confidence or walk away with dignity. Show the world that your character is stronger than their negativity, because your true power does not come from controlling other people. Your true power comes from controlling yourself. And the moment you truly master that, no rude person in this world can ever take your peace again.